Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So today I wanted to make an updated version of my makeup collection Declutter. I did one last year around this time, and of course I've used a lot of things up, or a lot of things have gotten old and I've gotten new things. So I need to throw some things out and, you know, just be a bit more mindful of what I'm actually using and not, and what I could make more use out of, and like remind myself that I own things that I don't use, so that I could maybe use them more if I do like them. I wanted to start off with these bits here. These are eye stickers from Lash, and I wore these on a recent video, one of these. And I went through a few of them actually, and I really like them, and I think I will keep both of them. Especially because I could easily go through both of them, so I think it makes sense for me to keep both. By the way, here I have my contact lenses, so I just keep them here, but yeah, obviously they're not gonna get decluttered. And what else? Start here on the top. I have my NYX Finishing Powder. Truthfully, I haven't worn this in probably 2 or 3 years. The thing is, I'm not trying to necessarily get rid of stuff just because I don't use it. I do feel that it's a little bit wasteful, but at the same time I do understand that the waste has already been done just by me buying this basically. So it says that you can keep it for 18 months, and it's definitely been a bit more than that. It's been probably 3 years since I bought it, but I do think that for the most part it's fine to keep certain makeup products for longer than recommended, especially powder products like this one. I do feel a little bit on the fence about this one because I never really use it, but I could keep it in my collection in case my mom, who has oily skin, might want it at some point when she does her makeup. That probably seems like a ridiculous excuse to keep it, but I'm not doing necessarily for this for space. So, you know, I'm not too concerned about that. This is a Make Me Brow by Essence. This is probably, you're supposed to keep this for 6 months, and this is probably 2 years old at this point, and I already have a replacement. So yeah, this is definitely going to leave. It's going to go probably to the trash, really. I don't think anyone should get use out of this product. This is my NARS blush. This one is in Exhibit A. I understand the complaints, by the way, from people who say that the rubbery packaging is horrible. At first, for like the first year or so, it wasn't really too bad, but everything sticks to it, and you can really clean it, you know. And yeah, this is supposed to be kept for 24 months. It's definitely been longer. And the one thing that does slightly bother me is there's like 3 like super small white little dots right there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them, but there's like these few dots here that I'm not sure if it's maybe from product that got back into the pan after I maybe used it over concealer or something like that. I think it could maybe potentially be mold, but honestly I think it's very unlikely. It also doesn't look fussy at all. It looks more like just pigment. And what I tried to do was to basically scrape it, and then I sprayed it with alcohol. Now, I have noticed that I haven't necessarily reached that much for these lately, but it's mostly because I found that thing there, so I'm like, I don't know. But I think I'll just spritz it with alcohol more, and we'll see what happens after that. I do feel a little bit more biased towards keeping products that were more expensive for obvious reasons. I mean, I had been lasting after this product for a very long time. I really like the idea of red blushes, so I don't know, I wouldn't like to get rid of this one. This is my Milani eyeshadow primer. This one I have been using for a while, but it's kept its same formula, its same consistency and all that. So I'm not too concerned about it, and also I love this and I wear this every time I do eyeshadow. So I'm gonna keep this. And this is a very simple toss. I pretty much went through all of the Wet n Wild Brulee shadow. This part here, this was left here after I panned it basically, and I don't really want to go through the trouble of like, let me show you this actually, and I don't want to go through the trouble of repressing this. I do know that it's a slight bit of a waste, but I honestly just want to get done with this product. In order to replace it, I bought the Catrice. This is the, I don't know, oh my god, it's the Arts, I don't know, something eyeshadow. It's there was a sticker over it, so there's some residue there and I can't read it well. But yeah, it's basically the same shade of eyeshadow, and I like this formula a lot. They're very similar, really. And yeah, this one is another one that I'm on the fence about. This is a sample of the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek in the shade Work. I got it about 2 years ago, well, almost 2 years ago, as a birthday gift from Sephora. And I'm a little bit, I mean, I like the fact that it's a twist up thing, because it kind of keeps the product a bit more airtight. But there's been at least one situation in which I have not twisted it all the way down, and I'm not sure if that has affected the wear. But you are supposed to keep it for only 12 months, and I'm kind of heartbroken because I was wearing these for the last 2 years. I've been wearing these at least on a weekly basis, if not more often, pretty much every time or every other time I do my makeup. And I think what pains me the most about this product is that I wasn't able to really use it up completely, because even though I was wearing it so often, look at how much of it is left. It's almost the entire product. And I don't know, I have no idea how people why anyone would even buy the full size, because this is enough. I mean, you're not even gonna use this up before it expires. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure what I expected though. But the thing is that it is a good product and the shade is pretty nice. I mean, I'm not that much into blush overall, so I'm not too picky about which shades to use. So I think it's just a nice flattering shade on me, and it's a good formula. It's fairly long wearing, and it looks good, so I think I will keep it, especially because it doesn't seem to have changed at all or turned, or nothing looks weird, or it doesn't smell any different from what it used to, so I will keep it. This is my Covergirl True Blend. I think I bought this around the same time last year, and you can keep this apparently for 24 months, so this is perfectly fine to keep, and I love it. I wear it every time I do makeup, so yeah. This one, let me see. This one is my Covergirl Lash Blast. I do like this mascara. It smudges on my lower lash line, which is what most mascaras do. And it's also been here for about 6 months, if not longer than that. And I have not worn it either way because I don't want to wear a mascara that's potentially, you know, a little too old. And that's definitely the kind of product that has to be replaced more often. And it does say to keep it only for 6 months. So yeah, I should get rid of this one. And this is the Lash Paradise primer. I bought this on a whim when I asked for recommendations on the subreddit about makeup, and I asked the fact that my mascara always smudges on the lower lash line or on my under eyes. And someone said to try a lash primer, and this was basically the only one at the drugstore where I live, so yeah, I bought this and it did work. However, I ended up finding something even better, which is this mascara, Hair and Make Volume and Curl Mascara. This is not the waterproof version, but it basically works as if it were waterproof for me, in the sense that it keeps the curl and it also doesn't smudge on my under eyes, so it does everything that I wanted to do, and it also looks nice. But all that I was really concerned about was not smudging, and it definitely works very well. Someone on here on this channel, or rather someone on my comments on my previous declutter, I remember, recommended me this mascara, and it took me a while to find it because this is a Japanese brand and not a lot of retailers here in Mexico will carry this brand, but it is definitely worth it to get this one, and it's great. And it's not easy to, no, it's not difficult to remove either, because it's, again, this version is not the waterproof, but I haven't tried a waterproof version. I have heard and read that is a bit difficult to remove though. This one is a lip brush that I haven't used in a while, but I do have it in case I do want it. I should move this with my brushes though, because it doesn't make sense to be here. This is not part of the declutter. And this is the new Make Me Brow that I bought. And again, this is a very good product. I also really liked the Glossier Boy Brow, but honestly this is a fraction of the price and it's just as good in my opinion, so I like it. Here I have a bunch of aligners and stuff like that. This one as well. This one, actually, let me start with this one. This is also by Isehan Japan, which is the ones that make that other mascara that I like a lot. This is the Heroin Make Smooth Liquid Eyeliner. Nothing against the actual product, but I got it from iHerb Mexico, and I think that they don't have the best stock because this one arrived pretty much dried out. I have to store it upside down, and even then it doesn't really give that much pigment. It could be the product potentially, but I suspect it is iHerb itself, because I did see a few reviews mention that it came dried out on them, and some other people did like the product a lot, so I don't know, but I am gonna keep it because I do want to make use of it, and because my other brown eyeliner, this one is the tattoo liner, and it's very good. I actually like it a lot, but it's been with me for over a year, probably 13 months or 14 or something like that. This is in the shade Mad Max Brown, and it's the iconic tattoo liner by Carbondi. And again, it's a great product, fairly waterproof, doesn't smudge too easily. Again, things smudge on my eyes a lot, so it does smudge a little bit. Like if I take a nap with this on, it will wear off a little bit. But it's overall really good, and it's definitely one of the best that I have tried. And I would definitely purchase this, but I also want to try the Heroin Make one from a different retailer where maybe I can get a better version. It does kind of pain me to like get rid of a product that seems to be perfectly fine. Again, I've had this for over a year, and it says to keep it for 6 months. So I don't know if it's too, it's not definitely not recommended to keep this for that long. And same goes for the Stila. Oh my god, the writing has completely worn off on this, but it's the Stila Still the Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This one, I've had it for the same time, but I opened it much later after the tattoo liner. This one, this Stila one, I opened it like 6 months after this one. So I would say that this one is still good. I'm gonna continue to use it for like at least 4 months more or so. And so yes, I will keep it, and I will get rid of this one, even though it kind of pains me. This is the LA Girl Pastel Dream Out Eyeliner in Marshmallow. This is something that I bought basically just because I wanted a white eyeliner, mostly for the waterline. However, I found that it kind of does irritate my eyes a little bit. More like my eyes feel a little dry when I put it on the waterline, and I think I might keep it though, just to maybe use like graphic white eyeliner, especially because it's very new and it can be kept for 24 months and it doesn't take too much space, so I think it's fine to keep it, and I could make a lot of use out of it besides putting it on the waterline. This one, oh, this is actually lip liner. These are lip liners actually. Let me put that aside. This is also by Isehan Japan, or they're called Kiss Me, I think. I'm not sure which is the name of the brand, but this is the Heroin Make Long Stay Sharp Gel Liner, and it's a pencil liner. I use this to tight line on the upper waterline, and I don't do that very often because it's not the healthiest thing to do to your eyes, because again, it does dry them out a little bit, but it looks so nice. So I do want to keep it to do that once in a while, and also to maybe use it as a proper like real just overall liner in case I want to do brown, but the other one doesn't convince me, and because I'm not gonna have the tattoo liner anymore, maybe I should keep a solid black liner. This one is the Wet n Wild, what's this called? The Breakup Proof Retractable Gel Eyeliner, which I remember not liking that much. Let me look at it again. Oh, okay, that's great. That wasn't... Oh my god, wait, what's going on? Wait, just a moment. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys, look how dry this product is. It's not even that old. This is like maybe 6 months at most, and it's probably less than that. It doesn't say how long you can keep it for here. It was probably in the box. Yeah, no, I think that's why I stopped using it, because it's just the driest, most horrible liner. And yeah, definitely not. These are lip liners. This is by Nana Coco, and this is called Violet. It's more of a fuchsia shade, really. And I thought I would wear this with some of my lipsticks that are like more, the purple one for example, to make it a bit more of a fuchsia purple. But honestly, I don't ever reach for this liner at all, and this is probably it's not that old. You can keep it for 24 months, and I don't know, I've had this for probably a year, maybe a bit more than a year, and honestly I think it's fine to keep for a bit longer. This one I'm a little bit more unsure about. This is by Jordana. They recently went out of business, and I bought this a little bit before that. This is in the shade Rose Crush, and it's just a nude shade. And this is something that makes sense for someone to have, but honestly I bought it because I saw a bunch of tutorials, so like how to make your lips look bigger, and my lips are obviously really small. You know, I was like interested in the idea, but honestly when I put it on with that whole technique, I'm not sure that I care that much for the result, the whole thing, but I do think it's a pretty useful technique. I guess I could use it, for example, with this gloss, but that's a whole other thing because I don't really wear this gloss that much. Or the nude lipstick as well, that one. I will keep it and remind myself to wear it, and then I will give myself an ultimatum, because yeah, I shouldn't keep something that I don't wear at all, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't make much sense to get rid of it just for the sake of getting rid of it. And this one is by Jordana as well. This is the shade Cabernet. I wear this a bit more often because sometimes I wear the other lipstick, the Maybelline one, in a more like full coverage way, and this is very useful to make more sharp lines on my lips. So yeah, I have done that before and I will keep doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, so here is the lipstick that I was talking about. This is the Maybelline, let me just, well, you can't really see, the writing is worn off, but it's the Maybelline Matte Ink, or rather the ink crayon in Settle for More. Yeah, and I have had this for a few years, well, probably 2 maybe, and it's my most worn lipstick by far. I'm not even halfway done through yet. There's still a lot of product left. Like I said, I wear it almost on the daily, except usually a bit more sheared out for a more daily look. It gives a really flattering look to the lips, and I also like to wear it full color, you know, just the whole thing. Like I said, so yes, of course I love this and I will keep it. This is a lip gloss. I don't know why I bought this, because truthfully, I don't know what I don't know what was going on with me. It's still good. It says it can be kept for 18 months. And it's in the shade Tiramisu. It's a very wearable shade, but I find that I don't really do well with more wearable shades, or with nude shades, because I'm like, I would rather have my lips have a bit more color than have a nude shade. Although I do see the point in them though, because if you have a very dark eye look, it's better to have a nude shade so that the focus is more on the eyes. So I'm basically just keeping nude colors for that. But even then, if I have a very like heavy look on the eyes, I usually either wear nothing on my lips or just like dab a little bit, like a slight bit of the red color, to make it look like a natural kind of more pigmented looks kind of look. More pigmented lips kind of look. And the other thing is that this lip gloss formula is not that great. I saw someone, I think it was Kelly Gooch, describe this as a very old school lipstick formula, and I think it's true. I mean, I haven't tried the new formulas because I don't buy lip gloss because I know I don't like it, but well, aside from this one obviously. But I know that the newer formulas, from what I've heard, are a bit more thin and they're not as sticky. And this one is pretty thick and pretty sticky, even though it's not very pigmented. So it's also not the most comfortable and nice on the lips. And honestly, the feel of it makes me want to take it off as soon as I put it on. So I honestly think I'm just being dumb by keeping it. Let me put it on my lips actually. Let's see what I look like with it on. I don't have any product on my lips, by the way. You can see me right now, but maybe I'll show you on the mirror. Or maybe just here. Okay. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. See, like it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And it doesn't feel great, like I said. It feels sort of, I mean, it looks good because it makes my lips look shiny. And I guess that makes it gives it sort of a fuller effect, like it makes them look bigger or whatever. But honestly, it doesn't feel good enough to make up for how, see, when I do this, well, you can't really see it, but it feels just so weird. And it's kind of a shame because they smell so good. They smell kind of like buttered popcorn. I've seen a lot of people describe it as cake frosting, but honestly to me it smells like caramel popcorn, not buttered popcorn. Yeah, it's sweet, but you know, it's very nice in smell, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I could wear it with more, again, dark, heavy eye looks. Maybe I should force myself to do that. And you know, I don't want to get rid of it having not worn it at all, especially because I can't just give it to someone, because these kind of products can't really be shared. It's kind of unsanitary because you remove this applicator and you put it on and then you put it back into the container, so the whole product is contaminated essentially. But I will keep it for now. Okay, let's keep going. So these are the lip products that I have, aside from the ones that I mentioned already, obviously. This is one of the Nivea or La Bello, whatever, Barbie lip balms, and honestly I feel so stupid for buying this because it's entirely marketing. Like, of course, Barbie's cute. I loved Barbie when I was a kid, and I still kind of do, really. It's very cute and like girly, and it kind of has this slight like reddish tint, which I like and I tend to wear, but I think the scent is not great. However, I don't know if I'll get rid of this. I mean, it's Barbie, it's cute. It does take a little bit of space because it has a slightly like domed packaging, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so here's the thing. The last year I told you that I would wear this more often or I would get rid of it. I think I said something like that. I don't really remember. This is Matte Glam by Milani. And you know, I haven't worn it at all, and when I do, I don't like it. And it's really weird because I used to really like purple lipstick, and now I don't know, maybe it's less flattering or something, I don't know, but I just don't really reach for it at all. It's also just getting older, you know, the lipstick is just not the freshest it was, so I think it has to go. Yeah, you can keep it for 18 months, and it's definitely been like 3 years or something like that. So yeah, this one is called Patisserie. It's a nude shade, and it's probably the oldest lip product that I own. This is maybe, I don't know, 3 years old, but, and you know, you can see as well that I have worn it, you know, it's not, there's a little bit of it gone in the shape of the lipstick. You can tell, of the bullet itself, you can tell that it has been worn. However, I generally don't wear it as much because this one just keeps, it's like, and this is my main lipstick, right? So this doesn't really do it, and I do like the shade. It looks nice on me. It looks like almost anything, but again, if I had a heavy eye look on, I would wear that to go with that. As I was thinking of my lip gloss, it feels horribly sticky even after I take it off, and I think that reminded me of why I hate this so much. Yeah, it gives you like a nice shiny look, but I could just layer this over a lip balm and it would give me the same effect with a much nicer feeling. So I think I'll just get rid of this one. Honestly, I hate it, and I hate that I paid money to have this. Just no. And I do like this product overall, and I think it's probably, I mean, it's not too old, it's definitely not expired, and I do wear it occasionally, so it doesn't make sense to get rid of it for me. Okay, let's get into what's down here. The first thing that I want to mention is this product, which I was supposed to declutter last time, but I didn't. I said I would give this to my mom. Wait, let me show you this. I said I would give this to my mom. This is the Pixie by Petra Natural Contour Powder, and I didn't because I actually think this is a very nice shade for me, and I have been wearing it a little bit since I decided to keep it. I wasn't really into contour at all until maybe a few months ago, and because I always felt like it almost emphasized the roundness of my face, but I've been looking a bit more into that, and I've seen some more techniques on how to contour a round face. So this has actually been pretty good with me occasionally with that. I don't reach for it often, but I did wear it to get my picture taken one time, and I did like how it looked. It didn't look too heavy, and it didn't look overdone, and I think I can make it work. I'm not very good at contour either, but you know, I can learn. But here's the thing, I got a lot of new false lashes, the more natural looking ones that I found at the drugstore, and because I really want to actually learn how to do false lashes, as you know, well, as you may have noticed, I have pretty sparse and short and straight, mostly just extremely straight lashes, and sometimes I don't even bother with mascara because I don't even want to deal with them, with my lashes at all. But yeah, but I do want to get to false lashes. Like I said in that video, I stopped, or rather I avoided wearing them because I kind of felt like I feared that I would stop liking my natural face or my natural lashes if I wore the false ones too commonly, and they make me look too good in comparison to my natural face, right? And I don't know, I feel like that might happen, but I also want to get over it a little bit. And this is also the Duo Lash Glue. This is the brush on adhesive glue, and this is pretty much new. I haven't used it at all because I have yet to use false lashes actually at this point. Here I have some lash curl like inserts, and I have some lash curlers here. These are the two main ones that I use. I use this one right now because this one is a little dirty at the moment and I haven't cleaned it. And this one works pretty well, and it's also really cute looking, you know, with the blue hearts. This one I bought a while ago on Sally Beauty, and I lost the foam insert that comes here, and for this doesn't really take on the other inserts there. So I basically can't even use this at all. And truthfully, I did like how it worked. This is the Twisterman lash curler, by the way. I liked how it worked, but I'm not sure that it really works any better than my regular ones. And I think that it honestly just makes clutter in my collection. I also remember not liking the fact that this doesn't open very wide, and I don't know, it makes it a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. I don't like to have it knowing that I'm not going to use it at all. I also have, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is my palettes. They're on this insert here. It's kind of hard to show you. Let me see if I can like do this a little bit. They're in this insert here inside the box. Here I have a blush that I forgot to mention. This is the Milani Romantic Rose, and I'm definitely gonna keep this. I do wear it when I want a neutral blush and I don't want to fuss with the cream blush. So yeah, I definitely do get wear out of this. This is the NYX Mystic Petals palette. This may be my least worn palette, second to the Blue Moon probably. And it's a very pretty selection of shades, but Honestly, I'm not impressed with formula. I mostly bought it because I really liked the color story, you know, like a lot of purples, and I figured that this would be a good companion palette to the Paradise Fallen. And truthfully, a lot of these shades, especially the shimmers, are not impressive at all. I mean, look at this one, for example. Like, it's honestly nothing special. Even though it kind of does look nice here, this one as well, it might look cute there, but honestly, I don't know. This one is probably, I think this is the one that I like the least. I don't really remember, but yeah, this one is basically matte on the eyelids. What else? This one I don't remember whether I liked or not. Well, that's kind of whatever. This one is the one that I was the most interested in. And let me just try and swatch it. It's cute, but it honestly isn't, the kind of duochrome aspect isn't nearly as intense as you might think it would be or it should have been. I do wear them sometimes. This one and this one are good shades, and also this one I like a lot, and it also performs pretty well for being the color that it is. So I'm very impressed with that because I don't really have a good periwinkle shade like this, and this is one of my favorite colors. The periwinkle from the Blue Moon palette is not as great, so I do want to keep this palette and play with it more. This is my Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral palette. This is a very old palette. This brand went out of business a while ago, and this palette was, I think, the first eyeshadow palette that I bought. As you can see, it's very, you know, it's seen better days. This shade fell out. I had a lot of pan on this one. This one has hard pan, you know, and they're not the best necessarily in terms of formula. When I started on YouTube, or rather when I started watching makeup YouTube, this was considered one of the best eyeshadow palettes at the drugstore by a lot of different bloggers, so I kind of just bought it because of that. And it was very useful to me for a long while. And I actually, interestingly, I do still reach for this, especially this shade and some of these other darker brown shades. I have a brown that I like, a black shade that I like more than this one, and also a cream shade that I like more than this one, so I don't really reach for those often. But I do wear the brown sometimes, and I do want to make sure to maybe pan this shadow and potentially finish this one up or these two up. And maybe even pan these other brown ones, which is a little bit optimistic, but it can be done. And yeah, I'm going to keep this for that. One that I do want to get rid of is the Modern Renaissance, which might sound horrible, but I mean, look at this. This is supposed to get for 6 months, and I've had it since 2016, since Christmas of 2016. So yeah, it's an extremely old palette, and it's definitely it has gotten worn. Some shades more than others, of course. I definitely like the more pinky shades and the more like cool toned shades. And it has such a great formula, and I don't know, but honestly, every time I look at this, I'm like, I should have already gotten rid of this because it's been so long. And a lot of people's palettes of these, you know, Modern Renaissance palettes have started to turn, and some of them started to turn like maybe 1 year after or 2 years after. So this has been going on for 4 years, and honestly, I haven't noticed much change in terms of the formula. But I don't know, I don't feel too confident about wearing these anymore. The shades that I like the most, I pretty much already have dupes of. Not all of them, but I already have other pinks that I like, for example. Not as strong pink. In fact, I'm actually wearing this one shade today, and I thought that it would be probably the last time that I would wear Modern Renaissance. I don't know, I mean, I feel like I got a lot of use out of it, but at the same time, I feel like I didn't get enough use. Like, it should have, like, I feel like I should have panned every single shade completely in an ideal world, I guess. Or at least pan all of the shades that I like the most. Like, Antique Bronze was obviously one of my favorites, and I'm pretty much done with it, and Warm Taupe as well. But Warm Fresco or Vermeer, I feel like I loved those ones a lot, and I feel like I should have gotten more use out of them. And Love Letter, it took me a while to start liking this Love Letter shade, but I do like it a lot, and it's actually pretty pigmented and nice to work with. However, honestly, I just noticed that it does kind of bubble up a little bit, this Love Letter shade, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, so I think I will declutter this one. And I know that every time I pick this up, I pretty much only do it because I have this voice in my head that says, hey, you have to use this palette up. It's not because I actually want to use this shade. So that's kind of something that tells me that I should just get rid of it, honestly, especially because it's so old and in the state that it is in. So this is the Melt Morty palette. I know I've complained a lot about the formula of this palette, but honestly, I just can't let it go because 1, it's limited edition, 2, I'm Mexican, and 3, I actually love these 2 shades so much. I love to wear them, and also I could maybe get these shades to work too. And truthfully, you know, the Western palette or whatever that came out earlier this year by Urban Decay, what is it called? Western palette? Cowboy palette or something like that. Oh my god, what is it called? Wild West palette. That one, I was considering buying it because of that turquoise shade, and interestingly I found out that those turquoise shades that are in the palette are basically the same as the 2 that are in this palette. So I think that maybe I should just keep this one instead of trying to tempt myself to get that one. And honestly, I wear this one very often and I like it more than the red Love Letter shade in the Modern Renaissance palette by far. There's different shades, obviously. This is much warmer, that one is more pink, but I like this shade much more. This is the Paradise Fallen by Ace Beauté, and look at this shade. I hate this shade so much, the Night Sky shade. I mean, even you can probably see how it has hard pan right there. Look at that. What is that? What is that? What's that? Exactly. Anyways, I do love actually a lot of these shades. Pure and Stone are great for a gray shadow look. Moonglow is beautiful on the inner corner. Orion is pretty cute and actually a bit more special than it might seem on the pan, because it just looks like a regular bronze shade, right? But I think it actually has a little bit more going on. And it looks very nice on the eyes as well. These are very nice for like a regular neutral, you know, look, if that's what you want. Shadow is sort of a really, not necessarily unique, but like a really cute, oh my god, look. Oh my god, look, like a really cool blue look. It's actually more blue than purple, this one. Now, these shades are a little hard to work with, but I think in the past I have maybe exaggerated a little bit on how bad they are, because truthfully, the only one that is truly terrible is Night Sky. And I think the reason why I was mad is because this is one of the ones that I was the most excited by, and this turned out to be really bad. But honestly, they're not even that bad. Twilight is here, see? It's just a beautiful shimmery purple. Evie is a beautiful shade, kind of like a blurple, like a very cool toned purple, darker purple maybe. They're a little bit on the thin side, but it's not too bad. Dusk is a more warm kind of purple, like a berry shade almost. And Blackout is my favorite black eyeshadow that I own. Sometimes I reach for this palette just for this shade. So yeah, I definitely do like this palette, even though it isn't my most reached for. I do still reach for it and I like it, so I'm gonna keep this one. So this is the palette that I've bought this year, I think, or maybe later last year, I don't remember. But I bought it on sale, and so it was extremely cheap because this is by Profusion and they're already a pretty cheap brand. And I think I got it for around $6 or $7, and it has a lot of shade. This is definitely my largest palette, and there's a lot of these shades that I actually have a lot of, that I wear a lot of. My eyes are stained, my fingers are stained now, but my favorite shades are probably Disco. Well, Disco is probably my main favorite because I really like pink, and this is a very, very bright pink, and very cool toned as well. This Queen shade is very similar to that duochrome that I didn't like from the NYX palette, and it's actually very similar in appearance as well. in formula, so it's not that great. But I get a lot of use out of these neutral shades as well, especially Fling. I do like Lively a lot, and Atomic are very nice for the center of the eyelid or the mid of the eyelid. And honestly, I want to play with this more, even with the warmer shades that I'm not that optimistic about, and maybe colors like this one, and I have one of this one as well. So last product that I'm gonna talk about is the Blue Moon by Colourpop. This one I got this year. I had to pay exponentially more than it was actually it even retails for, because there were not any retailers in Mexico that have Colourpop, and they were upping the price to like the equivalent of like maybe $15 or something like that, or maybe more, like 20. And also it's kind of hard to get free shipping in most retailers unless you spend a lot of money. So I ended up having to pay the equivalent of like $30 for this palette, which retails for $12. So yeah, it was kind of, and it wasn't an impulse buy or anything. In fact, I had been thinking about the Blue Moon since it came out, which was 2 years ago. I did end up not loving this Dabadi shade. I wore it for the first time in a palette bingo or something like. No, it wasn't. It was just a get ready with me kind of video, and I didn't say it in the video, I think, but it kind of blended out to be basically gray, and it wasn't pretty, and also it was extremely sheer. I had to sit there and like pack on the product for like 5 minutes. But that being said, I actually also wore this one. It's very, very pretty, kind of grayish blue shade, but I love it, and I love grayish colors like that as well. And I'm still excited to play with this one. Oh, and Lumi is also really beautiful. It's kind of white to blue duochrome shade. And also I'm excited to play with the other colors. I have only swatched them, but honestly, I would like to make another palette bingo with this one, excluding the colors that I have already worn. Well, some of them, one of them anyway, and just go with the other ones to make sure that I do get my use out of this palette. So I have looked through the whole thing up again, and I have decided that I do want to get rid of the NYX Studio Powder, because if I haven't worn it at all in like 3 years or 2, I'm not going to start now. So yeah, let's not kid myself. So as you can see, these are the products that I am going to declutter, and yeah, some of them do pain me a little bit more than others, but it's 10 and I have about 40 remaining products, so I didn't do as well as the previous declutter in terms of the ratio and all, but honestly it doesn't really matter that much to me, because the point is that I have products that I like and I wear. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.